Here is Mike Acker's portrait of First Street East. Sonoma began at Mission Solano, then grew down Spain Street and First Street East. Spain Street was largely filled by the soldiers' barracks and walled homes of Mariano and Salvador Vallejo. First Street was about business. The first ones, including the Blue Wing Inn around the corner right here, were about drinking, gambling, and playing billiards. This building right here with the Vella's ice cream sign once housed the billiard hall Casa de Billar. The place was so well known that the third U.S. Post Office in California opened here in 1850. Mike Acker's portrait of First Street East history draws inspiration from a Native American memorial at the Mission, an 1880s map, a ghostly street scene, and images of people who lived here. The Spanish Christian names carved on the memorial were given to baptized Coast Miwok, Patwin, Wapo, and Pomo men, women, and children. Hundreds died here and are buried in unmarked graves nearby. Names with asterisks were children. Edward Willey, modern native artist, drew this Miwok dancer. Many of the original buildings along First Street East were destroyed in a 1911 fire that began right here at this cobbler's shop. By afternoon, winds fanned the flames and firefighters began running out of water. Agostino Pinelli saved the town by sacrificing his 1,000-gallon vat of red wine to put out the fire. Here's his son, August, nicknamed Mr. Sonoma. Here he is again, at Sonoma's first mailbox. The post office moved around the plaza. To Pinelli's left is a locally famous cheese and ice cream maker, Ignacio Ig Vela. Ig once had a restaurant at the Vela's ice cream building as well. He built it with a basement to store cheese. More recently, local rock musicians discovered it was a great, almost secret place to play. To Pinelli's right is General Joseph Hooker, stationed in Sonoma after the Mexican-American War. His house was shipped here in pieces from Sweden in 1851. In the 1880s, this was a barber shop and a bakery next door. Here is a wine storage and kitchen space. DWG indicates dwellings where people lived. First Street East was an Italian neighborhood. Men worked at local quarries. The quarries were important to Sonoma's economy in the 1880s. Notice the Garibaldi Hotel, named for the Italian national hero Giuseppe Garibaldi. There was a deep well out back, a water reservoir, and a windmill pumping water. This was an ice house. People kept their food cold in a kitchen icebox before electronic refrigerators. Italians played bocce ball right here. Samuele Sebastiani came to Sonoma from Italy in 1896. He hauled stones from the quarries before he started making wine and became the richest man in town. During the 1930s Great Depression, he built a roller skating rink right here. He called it a roller-torium. Next door, he built an Italian Renaissance-style movie theater. Ronald Reagan was here for a film premiere decades before being elected president. And Disney Pixar's A Bug's Life premiered here too. This here is Roger Roten, who runs the theater today, riding his big-wheeled, penny-farthing bicycle in the 4th of July parade. Look at this jewelry shop, which is right near this blacksmith shop. You could get your watch repaired, then have new shoes put in on your horse. Sonoma Hotel was here in the 1880s. Today, Sonoma Hotel is across the plaza. Meet singer-songwriter, harmonica player Norton Buffalo, who brought a lot of great rock and roll to our plaza. Dorothy During is riding in a 19th century automobile from before they had steering wheels. She was a music teacher and businesswoman, married to Frederick During. They hired Adolf Lutjens to design their handsome general store. It survived the 1911 fire, but tragically burned in 1990. Sonoma League for Historic Preservation led a heroic community effort to clean the bricks, reconstruct the building, and preserve the sense of history at this corner. This map was made by a fire insurance company. That's why they located the creeks and wells and windmills, so they could access water in an emergency. Unfortunately, they ran out of water in 1911, and that's why they put out the fire with red wine. So walk down First Street East to see what history you can find.